matches will be taking center stage today, and as we speak, right about now, I think the first match should have kick-started right there at the Nest of Champions in Akwa Ibom State between Dakada FC and high-flying Plateau United, who is jostling for space, at the top of the Premier League, the Nigerian Professional Football League table. Now, we shall be connecting live from one of our man right there to you to give you live update as the match is ongoing, and then not forgetting Nigerians abroad. We shall take a look at some signings. Under 17 players, they just concluded under 17 players are already securing deals abroad. Some of them are going to some players, some clubs now that are somewhat recognizable, and some of them maybe in your opinion you could call them obscure, but you may not want to use that tag for the Nigeria under 17 players at this moment, because it's a matter of them just developing their football at the moment. So we shall give you headlines of some of the players that are moving in the under 17, and one of them is already sparking controversy. Four agents have sent in requests toward to the club now, Red Bull Salzburg, for signing one of the Nigeria under 17 player that shall be turning 18 to make the deal official. Four different agents have sent in letters claiming ownership of the player, or claiming agency, if you like, of the player. What do you make about all that? The show is packaged to be interactive as usual. So our SMS and WhatsApp portal is open at 0701 9339 962. 0701 9339 962. On Twitter, we are Today95.1 at Today95.1. You can copy me at Reliable Rely. You can also copy Wisdom at Wisdom_OB. Let's run the phone lines will be thrown open for you to air your constructive criticism when necessary, as well as your contribution on the show this evening as we are set to go on this ride. A little bit of talks about the newly released Nigerian Super Eagles jersey will be coming on later on the show. Have you seen the jersey? By the way, the jersey is there on my Twitter handle at Reliable Rely. Rely is spelled RELY at Reliable Rely. So you can go to that handle, take a look at the home and away jersey for yourself, and then give us a contribution about what you think about the jersey. What do you think about the timing at which it was released? Now, here's the thing. Build up to the Russia 2018 World Cup, Nike released the jersey that is now outdated, and it became the talk of the world. In fact, that jersey won us the World Cup. In quotes. All right. And now another one has been released. What do you make of it? Have you seen it? If you've not seen it, I'm going to retweet it again so that you can easily find it when you go to my Twitter handle. So you can give us your contribution. What do you think about the jersey? The proper time to release it? What do you think about the design? Should we even make much out of jerseys that our Super Eagles wear? Does he have anything to contribute? We shall be looking all that on the show. Enough of the talks. Let's run into the thick of the action. We are beginning the show this evening with a preview of the MPFL matches scheduled to go down tomorrow. Like I said, one of them is already ongoing between Dakada FC and Plateau United. Okay. Do we have any updates about that? Okay. All right. And then other matches that we are expecting tomorrow will be between Adamawa United and Heartland. Akwa United will take on Enugu Rangers. Enyimba will take on Abia Warriors in that Oriental Derby. Jigawa Golden Stars now, who sort of destroyed the hopes of Lobby Stars, topping the table when the defeated Lobby Stars 1-0, will be taking on Nasarawa United tomorrow. Katsina United will be at home to welcome Warrior for us. Wiki Tourists will play away to Lobby Stars, a high-flying Wiki Tourists. That should be some exaggeration if I decide to use the word high-flying. But the fact is, under Osman Abdallah, they are yet to lose a match. Don't mind me. MFM will be hoping to bounce back from that defeat at home to Enyimba when they are going to host Kano Pillars. And Rivers United, our own darling Rivers United, will be welcoming Kwara United. Sunshine Stars will be playing host to Fidelis Ilechiku's Ifanyu Oba. Those are the fixtures to expect tomorrow in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Let's take a look at them, possibly one after the other. Wisdom, let's start from the star match for you. I'm going to go over it again. Adamawa United taking on Heartland. Akwa United, Enugu Rangers. Dakada FC, Plateau United. Enyimba, Abia Warriors. Jigawa Golden Stars, Nasarawa United. Katsina United, Warrior Wolf. Lobby Stars, Wiki Tourists. And MFM taking on Kano Pillars, as well as Rivers United will be at home to welcome Kwara United. Sunshine Stars, will play host to Ifanyu Uba. Which of them will be the star fixture for you, Wisdom?
Well, basically, I choose my star fixtures based on the table. I don't know what the parameters might be out there, traditional side and all that. Maybe I'll go by that. But for me, the biggest game of the weekend is the game involving the game going on now, right about now. It should be kicking off, if not, if it has not kicked off already, any moment from now, between Dakar FC and Plateau United. That for me is the biggest fixture of the weekend.
You want to tell us why?
I'm coming to that. Now, you look at Dakar FC. Yes, they are not the most solid side at home. They do not have the best record at home now, in quotes. Having been able to gather just about 18 points in 9 home matches. But when it comes to their away performance, we know what they've done this season. They are the best side. No side shares points with them. They are the best side. 10 points from a possible 9 away games this season in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Tells you a lot about Dakar FC. So I think that makes them a potent force. Now you look at their position on the log. That's just what speaks to maybe to the end of what you can say. It tells everything about them. They are fourth on the table. 28 points from 18 matches played. They are just 4 points behind Plateau United now, who are the league leaders. Now, you come to the other side now, Plateau United. They are the number 1 team on the table, the leading team in the Nigerian Professional Football League table. You look at the fact that they've progressed solidly all through the season. They've maintained what you would say some level of consistency, at least in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Yes, they are deep in form. At some point, they were leading this league with about 5 points. We're thinking, okay, for the first time in a while, are we going to see a team run riot in the league? Maybe win the league with some games to spare. And of course, Rivers United and Lobby Stars and the likes of Dakar FC came from nowhere and started spoiling the party for them. For some time, Lobby Stars usurped them and went top with some games to spare, and here we are. They are back on top, talking about Plateau United. Of course, Abdul Mekaba, the less we talk about him, the better. What he has done for this side, you know, and their away performance is not even that bad. They are the third best side when it comes to away performances. They joined the others now who are second behind Dakar. Outside Dakar, who have got 10 points from away matches. Plateau United are one of the teams who have recorded 9 points from their possible 9 away matches. It tells you a lot about this side. So it's the first place team against the fourth place team, and they are just separated by 4 points. Plateau United also know what's at stake. Now, if they get to lose this game, they might just be crashing or being thrown out from that first position.
It's really, really hitting up at the top.
Exactly, seriously. Because Lobby Stars themselves are on 32 points too. It's just goal difference separating Plateau United and Lobby Stars now when it comes to the top battle. Now, Rivers United themselves, our own darling Rivers United, are third on the log with 29 points. A win too could see Rivers United gravitate to 3 points, you know, pending what happens in the centers involving
Lobby Stars and Plateau.
And Plateau. But I think for me, Dakar FC and Plateau United, that game is for me the biggest game of the weekend. But if you want to go traditional, because I know how the traditional MPFL fans want to look at things. But I will always say, I don't believe in tradition. The fact that you were very good, in 1995 or 2000 or 2005 does not mean you're very good in 2020. Aston Villa used to be a formidable team in the English Premier League. They are not there today. Newcastle used to challenge Liverpool all the way.
You're even going too far. Come back home. Today. Shooting Stars.
Shooting Stars used to be here at some point. You know, when they were relegated, it was like a surprise and a shocker to everybody. But of course, they are down today. So if you want to go by maybe tradition of the past 7 years, you want to say Aqua United and Enugu against Enugu Rangers is a very, very it's a very, very delicate match now. Delhi is delicately poised. You can actually pick one team to go over the other because of the performances they've recorded so far. Enugu Rangers are back. Now, when I say they are back, you ask me where they've been before. They were nowhere to be found when it comes to the MPFL table. They had very, very poor runs. They recorded terrible performances. You know, at some point, Salisu Yusuf came in. We thought, okay, things were going to change, but nothing changed. It continued the same. They continued with that pedaling at the same level. Their form saw them crash out. Crash out woefully from the Champions League, only managing 1 win and a point 2 or 2 points or so away from home. So I think for me, ever since the early days of January, let's say their second match they had in January, I think they've picked up. They did beat FC Fanyuba. From that win up until now, they've not lost
They're
a
riding,
game, both on the continent and on the domestic scene. Yes, they've had a set of draws. I think about 3 draws. 2 of those draws, I think, being on the continent. One against Nouadhibou, one against Al Masry. But they've recorded maybe one draw in the MPFL against Lobby Stars, which was last weekend.
Yeah.
But they've recorded 3 solid wins. 1 away in the Champions League, 2 at away and 2 at home. They beat Warri Wolves away and they also beat Abia Warriors. So I think for me, that should be another game now. You want to look at that game and tell yourself that should be a big encounter. Yes, by the table, Akwa United are placed 6th with 27 points. A lot could still happen, if they get all 3 points here. So it tells you a lot. And Enugu Rangers themselves still in the relegation doldrums now, albeit that, as I said, the past few games, they've looked like a solid side, a cohesive side. So let's see how it pans out. I think that's another game to look out for. Outside these 2 games, I want to believe the other ones now. Maybe if we are looking for excitement, interesting fixtures, maybe Lobby Stars versus Wiki Tourist and MFMFC Kano Pillars. I don't want to think about Rivers United, Kwara United now because
should that be a stroll in the park for Rivers United?
No, not a stroll in the MPFL. Yeah, you don't call any game a stroll in the park. But if you look at the form of Rivers United, you look at the fact that they are at home, you don't want to call that game a fixture that Rivers United can get anything other than a win. Kwara United are down 23 points from 17 games. I think they are 13th on the log. It tells you that they've not been completely bad anyway, but they're not at the same level with Rivers United. So I think for me, these few games are the games to look forward to outside the biggest one between Dakar FC and Plateau United.
All right, Plateau United fans, this is going to interest you. Trust me. Now here is the start. Out of the last 10 teams on top of the table at midway point, that's including Lobby Stars in 2018 season and maybe minus last season being an abridged season, the mid-season champions have gone on to win the league 8 times. I'll take that stat again. Out of the last 10 teams on top of the table at midway point of the season, all right, excluding, maybe you could include Lobby Stars in the 2018 season, like I said, and maybe you could remove last season, that was an abridged league season. The mid-season champions have gone on to win the league 8 times. How many matches are we going to run? I think 30. This is match day. This is going to be match day 19, right?
We've played 18 games already.
Fine. It's going to be match day 19.
Yeah.
Which is like the midway of the table.
Yeah.
And the stat says
the beginning of the next half.
Now, the stat says that out of the last 10 teams on top of the midway point of the league season, the mid-season champions, of course, as it is now, is Plateau United topping the table, have gone on to win the league 8 times. Is that going to count for anything for Plateau United?
Well, I think if you want to put your bet or your money on that one, you might get it right. Now, I want to say why. Now, not just because of these statistics. The Nigerian Professional Football League is a league where every single point counts.
Yeah.
And the best team that wins the league is not the team that does not lose away matches. So make no mistake about it. I've seen Imba not win any away match and they end up winning the league.
True.
The best team is the team that maintains consistency, some level of consistency, a great level of consistency all through the league.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if Sunshine Stars end up winning the league this season because they've maintained some level of consistency around the top 5. That's what it means to win the Nigerian Professional Football League every season. Now you look at Plateau United. Since the season began, which team has maintained that level of consistency? Which other team you would say has maintained that level of consistency? I think the answer for me would be no team exactly.
Really?
Because Rivers United...
You're not even making anything out of Rivers United.
I'm coming to that. Yeah. And I'm coming to what my definition of consistency. Now, Rivers United, they started the season poorly. Okay. We saw how they started. They struggled. At some point, the Rivers fans were calling for the sack of Stanley Guma, because of the kind of results that the team were churning in. But at some point, they picked up. And they've gone on to propel themselves to greater things. What I mean by greater things is they're no longer a mid-table team now. They are pushing for a continental spot. Not just continental spot, even the title. They're around there, just 3 points separating them and Plateau United. But they did not start at that same level.
Okay.
But if you want to rewind back, Plateau United and how they started, you want to tell yourself that no 5 games have gone through without Plateau United recording at least 2 wins since the season began. At least 2 wins in the process, even when it was bad time for them. I remember they lost against Sunshine Stars, they drew against Aqua United, were beaten by Casina United.
Even Abiyawaras mauled them 3 goals to nothing.
They still found a way to win. They beat Eimba, I think in the first fixture. Okay, first fixture of the year. Yeah, first fixture of the year, they beat Eimba 4 goals to nothing. Then from there, they moved on to being beaten by Casina United. They recorded a draw against Aqua United. They were beaten by Sunshine Stars. That's how this fall. They are fall from grace to somewhat that not grass.
Not grass. Of
there.
Course, they're still topping the table, so that cannot be described as falling to grass.
When they crashed down for Lobby Stars to usurp them, that was the result that made them get down. But of course, they responded with double effort. 5-0. They did beat Adamawa United, almost spelling Adamawa United in the process. They did play out a draw with MFM right there at the Agege Stadium. Of course, they handled our Rivers United well, managing to beat them 1 goal to nothing. I call it momentary loss of concentration. The thing is that we're beating. The Rivers United side we're beating. So I think for me, if you want to look at that, look at how they've performed all season. Okay. Look at that. You look at the team with the best home record. It is Plateau United. Now, in terms of goal difference now, because there are 3 teams that have best home record based on points: Lobby Stars, Ifeanyi and Plateau United.
I think Lobby Stars are yet to be defeated at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
they've only managed 2 draws, if I can recall properly.
Plateau United too themselves.
Yeah.
They've not been beaten at home.
Okay.
They managed to gather 23 points and having a good difference of plus 18, which is why I say they are number 1 when it comes to their home record. Now, their away record too. They are the 3rd best away side in the league. Now, they are joint second. Now, if you want to go by just points, with the likes of Kano Pillars and Lobby Stars and Aqua United, Dakada FC being the only team that is above them, having gathered 10 points away. Now, just look at these statistics. It tells you something. This team, they're doing something right. They're getting something right. Best home record in the league. 3rd best on away now. And it tells you no team matches them. Dakada FC are the best away.
Yeah.
But if you look at their home, they are somewhere down there.
Nobody will quickly forget that Nasarawa United giving them 3 goals to nothing.
Exactly.
At the nest of champions.
Exactly. So I think for me, that statistic might actually
play out. Play out because this is
it might
basically something of form, not necessarily the record that has been set. I think
exactly. Exactly. And then again, you have to consider the fact that there are some teams that will call their challengers in this league. Kano Pillars, perennial contenders, regular challengers. They've been somewhere hidden before Rabiu Ali came back, and they picked themselves up. They propelled themselves forward. But even at the fact the as hard as they've pushed themselves, as strong as they've contended for a push to finish well, they just graduated themselves now to 24 points, 8 on the log. Enyimba, another team you feel in the long term, maybe in the short term, Plateau United are getting things right, but in the long term, Enyimba might come back. Enyimba themselves are nowhere to be found as at this point. Yes, you can't write Enyimba off, but they have continental fixtures too in their hands. The likes of Ifeanyi and Emena, we're listening to them on the show. They've said they're going to focus on the league. Austin Oladapo and the other guys, they're going to focus on the league until the quarterfinal of the CAF Confederations Cup, where they'll be facing Horoya until it comes along. But when that game comes up around February, March, what is going to happen to their concentration? What's going to happen to the focus of the lads? Not forgetting the fact that Fatai Osho showed himself to be a one-sided coach, which is handling the team on the
Confederation Master Studies or something.
Only recording. Yes, they beat MFM in Lagos
away from
return.
Home,
but before that, what happened? So I think for me, Plateau United have shown some level of consistency. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being the champions of the 2020 Nigerian Professional Football League.
All right. I love the way you put it, as if you're the commentator on the stadium, just giving that final announcement of the winner of the league. All right. 18 minutes of football played at the nest of champions in that encounter between Dakada FC and Plateau United. It is still goalless. They've been more like a cotton razor for Dakada FC because Spencer Marcus Bassi skillfully evade a sliding challenge from Itodo before shooting with his left foot from the edge of the box. The effort beat Anoze, that's goalkeeper of Plateau United, but comes off the crossbar at the 18th minutes. Still giving you update as it comes down from the list of champions in that encounter between Dakada FC and Plateau United. And just about a few minutes from now, we shall be connecting live to you to bring you live updates of that encounter as it is happening. Now, Wisdom, let's come back home now. We've talked about Plateau United, Dakada FC, a little bit of Enyimba, although I shall be getting to that match later, which is Enyimba Biorus. It's an Oriental derby, more like a closer one at